Bank was founded in 1946 by farmers and business owners because they needed a community bank that knew them and understood their business. A lot has changed since then, but Merchants and Planters Bank is still employee-owned and operated, and we're still committed to knowing and understanding the needs of every customer we serve. Great rates, fast turnarounds, and experienced local bankers ready to work for you. That's why you should choose Merchants and Planters Bank. Stop in any of our 12 locations or contact us at mnpbank.com.
All right, here we go. We're live. That's all right. Hey, listen, we have really struggled to get on live tonight. We're actually not live, but you're seeing it live, but we're actually recording because we've run into some technical difficulties that will get handled before the night is over. Hayden Schultz down there at that end, Josh Nation back over here, 3 Newport Greyhounds that have already been on the program, but we're going to let them introduce themselves one last time. I'm David Black, and thanks, everybody, for joining us. You are who?
Colin Croy.
And you are who?
Isaiah Kendall.
And you are who?
Andre Rodriguez.
Now, the most important thing about these guys, not only being Greyhounds, is that, correct me if I'm wrong, but in last week's big victory over Atkins, everybody scored points, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. How many points did you get?
2.
How many points did you get?
2 touchdowns.
2 touchdowns. How many points did you get?
2 touchdowns.
2 touchdowns. Hayden, 2 points, 2 touchdowns, 2 touchdowns. And we got a lot of points. Big victory for the Hounds. Talk a little bit about that before we talk to these guys.
Yeah, a game that I think they knew, was expected as far as Atkins going into the game. A game that, you just want to take care of business and get things handled the right way. I thought the kids played hard. And getting to see some kids, that normally get to play was nice, too. Got to see some guys in there that go down there and hit somebody. I thought Pollard played pretty well, running the football. There's a few other guys. I thought Jack Sampson filled some gaps, did some things. Some of those younger guys getting in there. Perez, we had him on. He came in there, had 4 or 5 tackles, but it was good to see, everybody getting to play and then handling business like that.
Colin, I'll start with you and talk a little football here. Preparation last week for a team that on paper you're supposed to win. I mean, on paper, and a lot of times you don't actually do what you're supposed to do, but I thought the Greyhounds did exactly what they were supposed to do. Going in, did you feel pretty confident? And tell me why, if you did.
I mean, we practiced a little hard. We didn't really watch film on them, but, we heard about Salem beating them 50-0. Was it 50-0? Mm-hmm. 50-0. So, it was like we need to be doing something better.
Yeah, we got to go play.
Yes.
Got to go play. Isaiah, I want to ask you about one play in particular. I mean, we talked about the two touchdowns that you got. Talk about your interception that you had in the end, because that was an incredible play.
I was just reading what I was supposed to read. I had called, that was in trips, and I had called cloud, and cloud means like the corner he got flats, and the other safety he got like from hook to curl, and I had like deep. And when I see him go deep, I just followed it, and like when he threw it, I was just trying to pat it down, but I just caught it, so I just kept it and fell with it. So it was just like that.
So I guess I'd give you this question too. If the ball would have been at the, let's say they're throwing from their 40, from y'all's 40, and it's 4th down and 4, and then they throw it and you're about to intercept it at the 2, what would you do then? Would you intercept or would you knock it down?
I just knock it down.
Knock it down is what I want to hear right there. That's what. Tell me about scoring 2 points, the first 2 points of the year. Yes, no?
Yeah, say that's the first 2.
Yeah, talk about
struggling a little bit on the PATs, but finally got to the right Atkins. There was a chance to show it in the game.
There you go.
Just pulled through.
First one we've tried this year, is that right?
Yeah.
Cool. We got a couple extra points, and I think the first one we tried, we had a little high snap, but Jake Keedy was snapping the ball and did a marvelous job. I mean, after that, so, listen, I've snapped it over the punter's head before. I've snapped it over the kicker's head before. I've snapped it anywhere you could snap it. Sometimes that happens. And then, of course, Sam Doyle with the hold and you with the kick. And not that the 2 points were big in the game because the score was, but it was good to get out there and get an opportunity to kick. Talk about that.
Felt good, really. Like, we haven't done it in a while. And it's nice to do it out of practice.
You never know when 1 point might make the difference in a football game. I mean, the more you play. Hayden, one's pretty important a lot of times.
Absolutely. And, usually when a team will miss an extra point, it's kind of when you know that it's going to be like that. Melbourne last year. I mean, we kicked the extra point to win the game against
Right,
Belton.
absolutely.
They missed their extra point, and we kick ours and make ours. I mean, it was the difference in the game. Won the football game. So
Glen Rose missed one also, correct?
that is correct.
When we were a 5
I
seed.
believe I called that. Too.
You did call that. You said that's gonna come back and haunt those guys. Yeah, you did. I have to give you credit. I got to give you.
I like credit.
Yes, sir. Now, what have you got for the guys? Anything for the guys here? Just, I mean,
He loves to put me on.
well, I'm not putting you on the spot, but I mean, I got thousands. of
Fan
things.
favorite that we did last week that we'll continue to do because these guys didn't get it the first time y'all came in. What is something that you might do before a game? Do you have like a pregame ritual? Maybe a song that you listen to? Do you put your cleat on first, or do you put your pads on? What's a pregame ritual?
I wear I wear certain cleats like home and away. Like away games I wear my silver cleats, and then home games I wear my orange cleats because like I don't know, I play good in my orange cleats at home, then I do away, then I play good in my silver cleats, then I do home. So
There you go.
I put in my little earpods. Turn on my favorite song. I play about 4, 5, 6, 7 times. I get to do my little dance in there.
What's your favorite song?
that you could tell us.
My favorite, y'all probably don't know him. He like a new rapper, Lil Uzi Vert.
Come on now.
You know what that is?
Yeah, you trying to try me? What's
Look
your
at
song?
Yeah, you're over my head. You fool me, but you can't fool him. Yes, sir.
You know who Lil Uzi is?
Favorite song?
I've heard y'all talk about Louis, but I don't know who he is.
It's like a Jersey type Philly beat or whatever. Like he just like, this ain't what you want. I was just in there.
Philadelphia sound pretty good. I mean, that's kind of some Motown Philadelphia sound that I kind of remember in my old time. But how about you? You got any pre-game rituals that you like to do?
There's just something I always like have with me in the games. Is this towel I've had since like 4th grade.
Yeah.
It's all raggedy. And
Yeah.
I still keep it with me anyways.
You keep it, and I'm glad you brought that up because I wanted to show the guys one thing here. I'm back in my old time again right here, but let me talk about pre-game rituals right here. And I can't find it, so I can't tell. So it's not up there. But anyway,
What is it?
I can't show it to you. Don't
Well,
worry.
tell them.
We used to have hip pads that wore in a girdle, and they would come up above, and you'd stick, a long time ago, and you have hip pads on. But when I was in high school during a great run that we had where we had won, we ended up winning 11 games in a row and played for a state championship. Ronnie Helms, who was an offensive lineman with us, we had these little stickers that you put on. They used to have just a little, it was just a sticker, and it would say, beat Jonesboro, beat DeWitt, beat whoever. And anyway, after the first week of the season, which we didn't have them, he put one on my left hip pad at Osceola, and we won the game. So and it came off his, not jersey, but yeah, it's off his jersey. So anyway, we did that for 11 weeks in a row. And then the last game that we played was at War Memorial Stadium, and it happened to be that we weren't in school because it was during a Thanksgiving holiday, and he did not have one to put on because we didn't get one on that Friday because we weren't in school on that Friday. We had to just drive down, and we lost. So that's the superstition that we had, and I'm sure it had everything in the world to do with that sticker that I still can't find, the one that says beat Batesville on it. But anyway, pregame rituals for you?
No.
Nothing?
No.
Coach, we'll talk about
I
your
had the same-
pregame rituals.
I got a couple of
I had the same cleats for home and away. I didn't have a home and away cleats. I didn't wear a shirt underneath my jersey. I went if that's something. I didn't like the sleeves underneath, even when it was cold. Wasn't a big fan of that. Tough guy. Tough.
Did any of y'all, anybody, and did you do it in your group? Did you ever wear cutoff T-shirts? Did y'all wear cutoff T-shirts?
I did.
Yeah,
No,
we did that.
Mine had the bottom of it.
No, we had cutoff T-shirts. Yeah,
I like my shirt hanging out my jersey.
you like it hanging out,
White
Style,
t-shirt.
no.
right? Oh yeah, yeah. Because
Because for them to tackle you with.
it looks cool. It looks cool. And you got to be cool when you're out there playing. Does it matter how you look when you play? Does it matter how you look? Yeah, that matters how you look. Why does it matter? Kind of start you. Why does it matter?
I don't want to go out there, shoulder pads looking big, and I'm scrawny and stuff. And then I ain't got no accessories on. I got to stand out on the field.
There you go.
I gotta
Nothing wrong with
Let
that.
everybody know who I am. So
Andre, I'll go to you next.
Just look good, play good.
Look good. I like that. Isaiah, why do you have to look good?
Because Well, me, in my opinion, when I look good, I play good, and I feel good. So, yeah. I can't just go out there looking.
Then the pictures be looking good.
Yeah,
The picture, you got to be looking good, huh?
I can't just,
TikToks in the second half.
I can't go out
They
there.
got to coach second half.
I saw that. I saw you guys over there with your headset on. I saw it on Facebook. And did y'all give great advice during this time you had these headsets on? Y'all were actually talking to somebody, or y'all just
To each other.
to each other?
Well, all I know is when we were in charge, we scored 45 points. We left them in charge, we scored 7.
Unbelievable.
Second half.
Apparently, the coaching slacked off quite a bit once they got the headset
The
on.
game would have started from the beginning. Would have been up by 60. and I would have fed my receivers at Coach Reader.
That's right.
So, what'd you do today? Talk about what happened today at practice, and we talk about the mental Monday and what happened today, Colin.
Went to football, watched film, went home,
It's a little different.
took a little
Bye
nap.
week,
Bye week, yeah, it's different.
Now, then he blowing up my phone, outside. So yeah, now I'm here.
Isaiah, what'd you do?
We just had a easy little day. We just watched film for about an hour, and I went to work and worked all the way till I came here. And now here.
Andre, I'll ask you this without having to ask that question. Is it different having a bye week up here? I mean, psychologically, is it different? I mean, is this kind of
Yeah,
a...
it is very different.
Yeah, you kind of, I would think, you don't have to put it in cruise control. You don't want to put it into cruise control because the next time you go out there as a Newport Greyhound, you've got a formidable opponent that is, I mean, you guys are going to be playing for the number one seed, or at least an opportunity to be a number one seed. So, but how about you, Isaiah? Do you feel like this week's, I mean, it's not ever an off week because you're practicing all the week, but what makes this different?
It make it different because, like, you know, with us not playing Friday, it's gonna make us more ready for a game. Because, like, you know, we're really not used to like this bye week. So, you know, we used to always, we getting ready for this team Friday. We getting ready for this team Friday. So I feel like when next week come, everybody's gonna be anxious and ready to play. Like, you know, we're gonna have a lot of adrenaline coming and just ready to hit something.
Colin, how important is it that you think? I mean, this is one of those games that it's very, very important.
Yeah,
I mean, it's very important to what we're trying to do. It's not do or die. It's not do or die, but it's pretty important to talk about the importance of this football game.
It's very important because we want to be where we can just relax and have it easy, and then come time to be at Little Rock, you know, put on the show for everybody.
There you go.
So,
We'll be looking good too, won't we?
Climb it up like we did like last year and stuff. We want to, you know.
Andre, if the guy's the kicker, and a lot of times you see a kicker miss an extra point, make an extra point, miss a field goal, make a field goal, that really determines, quote, the outcome of the game.
Yeah.
It's really not all your fault, or it's not all you, whether or not you kick that extra point. Do you feel any, I mean, just the 2 times you've been out there, I mean, no, there's no pressure there, is there?
Well, we were up by a lot, so there was
Right, yeah.
zero pressure on me
Yeah.
out there. I was just like, oh, okay, I'll kick this right quick. All right, no big deal.
I know that pressure is generally related to preparation. If you're prepared, there should be no pressure.
Yeah.
Sometimes the result is not what you want, but the pressure. Grant Black says this all the time about pitching in professional baseball. He just says, I don't feel any pressure because I'm prepared. I'm prepared to get out. But sometimes the guy hits it out of the park. Sometimes you throw it in there and the guy hits it out of the park. So anyway, preparation is important. Hayden, preparation, you were a prep guy during the week, weren't you?
No, I was not. I was not a great team guy for practice. Sorry, Coach. I wasn't.
I always say everybody tries hard on Friday nights.
Right. That's exactly
The
right.
ones who do well on Friday nights are the ones who put in the work.
Yeah.
That's correct. The
Now,
preparation.
listen, I did.
You did go ahead.
I did what I was supposed to. I did what I was told. I gave the effort. Did I want to be there? 100% no. I hated practice. I thought it was pointless sometimes, but that was me. That was my mindset at 17 years old. Now, you know, get a little bit older, you kind of see maybe there was a reason why we did that drill or that thing. So
Callan, you like practice?
To be honest,
Or is it just a necessary evil to get to play on Friday night?
you got to be there if you want to play.
There you go. Got to get your work done. Isaiah, you got to love it, I know.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I love practice. Just certain stuff we do is kind of questionable. So yeah, I don't know. It's like not with us. It's just like cause very like we do some weird stuff. So I like he said it worked, so I'm just going with what he says. So, yeah.
So, do you get to kick a lot during practice?
Oh, I kick a lot during
Okay,
practice.
good deal.
Just a lot of it on my own time.
Yeah.
Just go out there and kick a few. But most of the time, there's not a lot of people out there with me.
Right. Yeah. Take a little preparation. What else, Hayden? What else we got for the guys right here?
They've got questions for us.
Oh,
But
y'all got
I will just to go off that practice thing. You have to put in the work if you want to be successful on Friday, like Coach Reardon said. I mean, you have to buy into what those guys are saying because they're not just saying it for their own health. I mean, I think y'all obviously know that, but that was something that, and sometimes you kind of see it play out as far as in game, maybe a drill that you did, and you're like, well, we worked on that Tuesday, and I just did it. It's kind of like, well, maybe that guy knows what he's talking about, so I'll just keep doing what I'm supposed to. But y'all got any questions?
We got answers now. I guarantee. And mine may be 1970 answers, but
Go ahead. What you got? You said you were on the fly guy.
Oh, yeah.
Go, dude.
I am. So, every Friday, do y'all still feel the same energy y'all feel back in high school? Like, ready to play and ready to put back on a uniform?
well, I will say this: it's a very good question. My enthusiasm has not waned any over the years about what I do and getting in that booth.
Right.
My brother got me into the business when I was 13 years old. So my answer would be I'm just as excited to be able to contribute to the Greyhound success.
Right.
I think what we do is important for you guys because that's why we do it. We do it for you guys. And but yeah, I get excited every week to get in the broadcast booth to be a part of Greyhound football. I can't imagine even at my age, 66 years old, and I'm doing it a long time, and I'm not nearly as good as I used to be, and I know that, and I know I'm slipping with my thought process, and my eyesight's not very good. But I can't think of anything I'd rather be doing on a Friday night besides sitting in a press box somewhere rooting for the Newport Greyhounds. Now, if I was
Not always the press box.
no, a lot of times outside the press box. But I do know this: if I were doing it for the Perryville Bulldogs or Perryville Rams or whatever they are now, or Greene County Tech Golden Eagles, or if I was doing it for the whoever, the Melbourne Bearcats, it wouldn't mean as much to me. I mean, I would be doing it, for a job. But there is a thrill in doing what we do, not so much to want to play, because I'm way past that, but for the first 15 years you do.
Right.
You said, boy, I'd be like to be playing tonight. But I'm glad I'm not playing, but I love being a part of it, and I love watching young guys just go out and live their dream of playing high school football for the Newport Greyhounds. I do love it. Hayden Schultz.
I would probably say that I get more excited now than when I was a player. Now, as far as which one would I rather do, absolutely give me the orange helmet. I can give you a quarter. I can't give you 4. I ain't ready for that.
I'm down to one play.
I can't even get there, Coach. Coach says he's down to one play. Yeah.
I used to say I could give him a half, then it went to a quarter, then I said a series, and now I'm one good play.
I can give a quarter both sides of the ball and kick off for you, right?
Really?
I can give you a quarter. Better than anybody you got. But
Tell me about the thrill of being in the broadcast booth, though.
well, you got to find something to do, and when you're trying to do your plan for life, it's like I think I'll be a coach. I can make Newport, and I'll be a coach, And then it's like, well, I really don't want to do that. And then you got to find something to connect you to the game.
Absolutely.
And this is the closest thing that gets me to the field. Now I'm nowhere near the field, but it's the closest thing that I can do to be there and be there on Friday nights. And regardless if I was in the booth or I wasn't, I'd be there on Friday night, home or away. I was there when they went 2-8. I went to every single game the year after I graduated. I went to every single one of those games, and we were 2-8. Wasn't in a booth, just something that it sticks with you. I mean, there's nothing like being at Newport and watching Greyhound football. You go anywhere else in the country, and it's not the same. So,
Not in our hearts.
No.
Yeah, not in our hearts. I mean, nothing would even
That's
compare.
a great question, though.
That is a great question.
I got
That is a great.
too.
What else?
What's one game y'all played in that y'all will never forget, and why?
Well, I know mine for a fact. It was the same year I'm talking about was the first round of the playoffs against the Wynn Yellow Jackets.
Right.
And we played the Wynn Yellow Jackets to open up the season and got beat 28-7 at Wynn. We won 9 in a row. Conference champs got to go. That's the only one they took. They didn't take 2, they didn't take 3, they didn't take 5. There were 8 conferences, and the conference champs got to go. And we matched up against the conference champs in Wynn's conference, and Wynn went undefeated in their conference, 9-1. Forest City beat them, and we had to match up against those guys again. We'd won 9 in a row.
Right.
So we got to go back to win in the first round of the playoffs. And nobody gave us a chance to win. Nobody gave us a chance. But we knew we were a lot better than we were in game one.
Right.
But that game we won 21-15. Dr. Joe David Smith, who came to speak to y'all, he talked about that run, been 50 years ago. That game, Joe David scored 3 touchdowns. He didn't talk about that, but a phenomenal athlete that went on was all-conference player and maybe even an All-American at Harding University. Joe David was he was a great athlete. He was a great basketball player, great baseball player, ran track. He could do it all. But and you look at him now, he's 67 years old. He still looks like he exercises a lot. But the win game in '72 for me was huge. And we played at War Memorial and got beat 21-13. But after beating Wynn, that time it was kind of like everything else was bonus to us. We won the next week 9-0 against Harrison at Conway, and you go down, you played for a state championship. But that thrill of what we did at Wynn was kind of like, we've accomplished all the goals that we tried to do, and so it was. I'm proud I played for a state championship, but beating Wynn by far was more important than playing in that state championship game. Hayden Schultz.
Last game I ever played in, Star City at Newport. They were 5 seed and they came down here and beat us. We won the conference last year. We won the conference outright in 2014, and they came down here and they beat us. That was a tough one. You're going to get home field advantage the whole way out. They lost their game the week prior to get the 5 seed on purpose to play us because they didn't want to match up against, I think, maybe Warren or Nashville.
Right, yeah.
And that was a tough one. Now, we've had some good ones. I talk about the Stuttgart, down 20-0 at half, and then come back and win that game 21-0 or 21-20. Was a pretty good one, scoring 3 touchdowns in the second half and holding those guys. So, Star City, that's one that's vividly in my head. I remember we catch a pick late. Keith Warsham catches a pick, and we're about to go score a touchdown and win the thing, and we throw an interception the very next play, and they run the clock out and beat us. Well, they kick a field goal, but
not only did Joe David Smith play in the ball game I'm talking about, Tommy Phillips was our tight end and defensive end.
Right.
Tonio's grandfather.
that's how old David is.
That's exactly how old David Black is. That's exactly how. But great football player, and he was just it was a great year. All right, more questions, guys. We're ready. We're loaded. We're ready for answers.
I got y'all.
All right.
When y'all was playing back then, like, who was the player the teammate that pushed y'all the most, or did y'all even have one?
For sure. Now, my junior year would be Ramiro Macias. I don't know if y'all know him, but he was a guy. He was a senior my junior year. We both played defensive line together. He played nose guard, and I played the 3 technique my junior year. And then he was the right guard, and I was the center. Played both ways. Both of us were top in the weight room. In the A group, I don't know what y'all call it now, A, B, C, whatever. He was A1, I was A2, and I was always trying to itch to get that guy, past him. He was definitely the hardest worker that I've ever seen as far as putting the work in at practice, then wanting to go up there and lift weights after practice. Remember we played Clinton, and it was one of those games where, Clinton was tough up front, big front. And had to carry him off the field. He was so exhausted. That was definitely a guy that I would say that I looked up to, and definitely a guy that was a leader on our team. And then as far as senior year, we had some good ones. Colton Willis was a guy that you could always count on. He was always there. That guy, he only probably made 120, 130 tackles that year. If we had 300 defensive snaps, he was around the ball 300 plays. He was everywhere. If y'all want to go back and watch any of him, that dude, 170 pounds maybe.
Not very big, but he played hard.
Inside linebacker, and buddy, he's as good as anybody. So that would be probably my two that, always had you back and you looked up to.
I think the guys that I looked up to are not the guys that I played with. I was a leader type, but the 1968 football team, John Pennington came to speak to y'all also. Now, that guy, I'm telling you, was a great football player too. And those guys, that whole group of guys were my heroes. I'm in the 7th grade. those guys were heroes of mine. I watched them play. They go undefeated in 1968. They beat Batesville in the last Thanksgiving Day game 46-0. But John Pennington was like a hero of mine. I mean, he was just he wasn't a very big guy, but boy, he'd just get after it. And a lot of those guys on that team. So, when you're younger like that, you look up to guys, and you guys do a great job, I know, of these little fellas. I've got a little grandson that looks up to y'all, and you're a Newport Grand football player, and he loves you to death. But you got to understand that being the role model that you are. But I was not the guy. I wasn't the greatest football player, but I was a leader, and hope people would follow what I had to do. So, anyways, great question.
It's not a question for y'all two. It's a question for these two.
Okay.
I got it.
When y'all was like in Pee Wee, what was the Greyhound y'all looked up to? Like, who was the Greyhound?
Good question.
Because I don't even know why I even thought on that. I looked up to Jordan and Jay now.
What about you?
Jordan, Neal, Jay Crack.
Even thought of that in a while. I really don't know.
Yeah.
Like, when I was
That's two
young, I
good
didn't
ones,
go to a
ain't
lot of them games.
Talk about the two guys that you just named. Talk about those guys.
Me and Jordan grew up together, so we always stayed at our grandma's house, and so I knew when he missed school or did whatever. So yeah, I used to always come to the games. Was it 2016?
Yeah, right.
So yeah, I just come watch him run the ball and stuff, and watch Jay show out at receiver and stuff. I was like, ooh, I want to be like that when I grow up and all that. So I really got to I used to miss school.
Miss school. Skipping school.
That's where I got it from. That was back in Pee Wee and stuff. Coach Chris and stuff used to come pull up to the house. I'm outside playing basketball in the front yard or something, and I'll take off running, jump over the fence or something. Coming game time, though, I'll be juiced up, ready to play, going out there, hand me the rock, I'll go score and do something. He's like, you quite won't show up to practice, buddy.
He'll go over right now, won't he? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's awesome. That's a great question. Anything else for us, guys?
Who's the guy you looked up to in Pee Wee?
Oh, I looked up to Darren, obviously, but the main guy I really looked up to and watching playing was Asante Shell. The way he would just go up and get the ball. He was the reason I had got number 17 in 4th grade. When they asked, when we went, I was like, I want 17. And then I was like, I want to play receiver. But then they put me at quarterback. And I kept saying I want to play receiver throughout the years. So after that, because in elementary, I used to go to their huddle and I used to watch they huddle. And I remember I kept getting a chill for going to huddle and watching Asante Shell. And I'd be like, look how he just go and get the ball. Look how he catch over them people. And
yes, sir.
That's something I always want to do. So
Asante, a year older than me, played with him. I remember, and I think it was basketball practice. They would throw him the ball down low, and he would kind of fumble it. I mean, great athlete. He's 6'5", 6'6". I mean, he was thick too. He wasn't 150 pounds. He was probably 180, 190. Great frame. And I remember, I want to say it was Coach Mack, and y'all can go ask him and fact check me, but they got him glasses and found out he couldn't see. Buddy, let me tell you, when he got glasses, he became a different animal when he could see. And they got him goggles for football. I remember him having to wear those goggles, and people, try to get on him a little bit wearing those goggles. But
yeah, it's one.
When you throw the ball up to him, he'd go up and get it. But he was so much better when he could see.
Oh yeah, I remember in basketball. I used to run the bleachers or under the thing, and all I hear is and I run back out dang, I missed a dunk. So I used to always try to catch a dunk, and I never called it in the game because I was running the bleachers, and all I hear is the crowd say, go crazy, or and the football. I always make sure I caught him catching the football. They're I go back and watch his huddle again, and just the way he go up and get the ball, I'd be like, yeah.
He caught one at Lone Oak that was probably one of the best catches I've ever seen.
Is that right?
Yeah. And they came back and they waved it off, and that's how we lost against Lone Oak at the end of the game. Threw a jump ball up.
His senior year.
Yeah, and I believe the guy that was jumping with him was Blake Mack.
Yeah, big time player.
Went to
A-State.
Yeah. Played practice squad with the Kansas City Chiefs. That was the guy who jumped ball. And he got mossed that night, that's for sure.
Got mossed.
Because he was he was a red zone. Red zone was him. Just throw it up, let him go get it.
Yeah,
Well, nobody knew.
Yeah, you can ask.
You know, he played behind Grant his junior year, and then Grant got hurt in Game 6, and then came in against Stuttgart that night and made several great catches that night. You could see the talent then. I mean, he wanted to play. I mean, boy, he did awesome. He did.
Senior year, they ended up moving him to defensive end.
Right.
And it was a nightmare, having to block that guy in scout team. If you had to go block him, because he could touch you from here to the camera, and you couldn't get a hand on him.
Yeah, he was different, facts. He was tough.
His arms are. I ain't never seen anybody built like him in high school. But yeah, he was a for real guy.
Guys, final questions for us, and we'll let you guys get out of here. Final questions for us.
You got this one.
All right. What was the best game y'all played? Like the game y'all did the best in? Like,
I never scored any touchdowns. So
Well, I'd say the very best game from an individual standpoint. If you just take, I don't know, I made 18 tackles at War Memorial Stadium, 1972 in the state championship game. So even though it was a losing effort, but I'd say that one. From an individual standpoint, from a team standpoint, that wouldn't be it. But
not much of a team guy, are you, Dave?
I think the question was from the individual standpoint.
yeah, you answer.
I don't really know. I can't think of a game.
It's a good question. Yeah,
Every one of them were good when I played. Every game I ever stepped on the field. You can turn on the tape and watch. If you don't want to watch any of that, go watch some 2014.
Well, listen, I have every game he played in right in there on a hard drive,
Flip it on.
and we can look at any game we want to look, and we can even grade it for you if you needed us to.
Graded. It got graded every Friday.
How'd you grade out?
At the end.
Generally.
It was A. It was low A's, 90, 91s. Never got hundreds. Coach Rideout, he was a stickler. He would never give me
I graded
100.
106 weeks in a row. One time I got mad because Coach Mathis bumped me down. Is that? Where did I mess up?
Show me. He could show you.
Coach Rideouts was like 95. 95, and you did about as good as you could do.
Right.
That was pretty much perfect. Nobody ever got 100. 95 was as good as you could do. He would never give you 100, but low 90s. Every once in a while you miss a guy, but when you got Carl Turner and Christian Kratt behind you, you can miss a guy every once in a while.
That's right. All right, guys, we're going to let y'all out of here, and we're not going to break. We're just going to let you get up and walk out and have Coach come in. But appreciate y'all coming. Good luck to you, not this Friday night, but have a good week of practice this week. And
Are we healthy? Y'all healthy?
Yeah, is everybody
No
healthy?
bummed ankles? Nothing? You're good?
Even the ones we had after the night.
But hey, big victory the other night at Atkins. I always want to call him Van Atkins.
There you go. I used to work there.
Did you really? At Van Atkins. Well, you're a sales associate.
I was a sales associate. That's right. Whatever Mr. Robert Van Hook wanted me to do, that's what I did.
You could do it, couldn't you?
That's right. I wrapped presents there once.
Really?
Yep. Sure did. Don't tell my wife that.
I won't. And speaking of your wife, and before we go any further,
there you go.
I want to do this real quick. Folks. Occasionally, you run across something that is probably the most unique piece of Greyhound media that's ever been assembled. And your lovely bride, instrumental along with a lot of other girls in the Booster Club.
People help. That's right.
We still have a few of these media guides, 2022 media guides. They're $10. I promise you, it's going to be a keepsake. You could put it in your closet, but this is the inaugural, very first is what that means. And we have several of these left, probably 30 of them, maybe 40
A lot
of
of
them.
history in it too. It's not just.
It's tremendous history in this book about Greyhound. It is a must for anybody that's ever been a Greyhound football fan. Or if you even haven't been a Greyhound football fan. If you've been a football fan at all, you need one of these. I mean, it talks about the 72 bunch. It talks about the great history. It runs some history. This is a historical piece. Would you not agree?
Absolutely, it sure is. And this one, we're just getting started. She got here late. We got
Right.
So she wasn't able to put as much work to it. It's still phenomenal, but wait till next year. That'll be even better.
Well, it has so many. It's just got great stuff in it, and we need to sell these. The money goes to the Booster Club, and there's no need for us to take these in boxes. We'll put a few back. I've put a few back myself, but we'll have those put back. But if you want one of these, you can call me at 512-8427, and we'll hook you up with one of these. $10. We'll take cash, and we'll take a check. I don't have Venmo and I don't have all that other stuff, but if you need to pay some other way, we'll get you in touch with
wife
Julie.
does.
And Julie does.
She's got Venmo.
Absolutely. So if
She
you need,
knows she's got all kinds of ways to spend money now.
that's exactly right. But get these. Make it a Christmas gift for a Newport Greyhound. Anybody that's ever played them in a Newport Greyhound would be proud to know that we do these right now. It's a very, very important piece of our great history in Newport. For $10, you can't beat it.
You wish y'all had that the senior year?
I did not have one.
That would have been cool.
Anybody would want this one. I mean, it's good not only for the seniors that are in it.
Oh, it's good for everybody. Yeah.
Can I see it now?
Absolutely.
You mean you don't have one yet?
I don't have one.
Well, $10.
Yeah.
That's what I want
For the small fee. For a small fee.
I've looked over when you had the original.
You can have that one right there. There you go. Take that one.
I don't mind donating my $10.
You guys pay your dues for the program.
Yeah, this is awesome.
I mean, the thing is absolutely awesome. It's just I don't know what more adjectives I can use to say. You need one.
That's right.
You got to have one.
And these are some of the questions we could start asking the kids that they got in here.
Here you go. You can steal from our stuff. That's fine.
It's called plagiarism. Copyright plagiarism. I wouldn't dare do that. I wouldn't. Coach, congratulations on the big victory, and talk a little bit about that, and then let's move forward and talk a little bit about your victory the other night.
It was one of those games we kind of talked about going in. Atkins is kind of in a down. They're in a dip, and they know that. We talked about it a little bit as a coach. Coaches have all. If you've done it long enough, you've lived some really bads and some really goods and all kinds of stuff. But Atkins is going to be fine. They got 43 kids in their junior high program. Talked to the coach quite a bit, down to 17 or 18 in senior high. It's just hard to compete in football with those low numbers. The kids that were out there were busting their butts and giving it all they had. And hats off for them for hanging in there. A lot of teams have folded. And
Sure.
A lot of teams have went to 8-man football. And he said, I'm not doing that. Coach Porter over there at Atkins. And I appreciate that because we already have one bye week in conference. And you really don't want another bye week. This one was pretty good for timing for us. And we've had a pretty good gauntlet running through. And then, but you don't want to get to that situation where you're having to go fight and find the game because too many bye weeks, you're not getting better and whatnot. So hats off for them. Thank you to them. And I told him that. And we were as kind as we could possibly be and played everybody and understanding the situation. Because in my early years of coaching, I was on that end of the situation. 20-something kids, 2 kids one year, and just trying to survive the year and whatnot. So again, we did what we had to do. The kids handle their business. We spread the ball around a lot. Got a lot of different guys the ball. Everybody got to play considerably, and it was a fun Friday night. We came back healthy. Now it's a bye week and then Melbourne.
You want to talk about the health? Everybody's good.
Well, Jeremiah go there still kind of got the tweaked knee. We sat Brendan Curry and we sat Josh Drennan with ankle injuries. I think talking to him today, I think that was probably they probably could have gone,
right?
But it was game time decision, and I said, guys, y'all just see it. These other guys need reps anyway. I need to make sure you're healthy. going through the bye week. We can kind of watch them again this week, but I think they'll be fine. And then we get Melbourne. Everybody's been kind of, everybody's had it circled since I got here. Melbourne, watch out for Melbourne. Melbourne.
There were other games to play before that one.
I didn't have time to think about Melbourne.
Yeah, right.
There was a lot of other games before that, but here they are now, looking right at us. I got 2 weeks to get ready for them. If you can't get ready in 2 weeks, then there's something wrong.
How does the preparation change for you with 2 weeks going in? I mean, do you back off a little during the week? I mean, how does it work?
We've always had bye weeks. Traditionally, they come if you do a week 0 game,
right?
Conference
right.
starts. That's how I've always dealt with it.
Right.
So there's 2 ways you look at a bye week. You look at it as a rest, especially we used to take it week 4, week 3, I guess, and then now you're in week 7.
Right.
A little bit of rest, but a little bit of extra polishing and getting ready for the next team, which happens to be the game of the year possibly for the conference. So great timing for us. But we're going to balance that today. We just watched film and I sent them home, and some of them were ready to get out there and go. And I was like, I'm glad you are, but let's give you a day off with pads. Now tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we're going to go pretty hard, probably 2 hours each day, do some lifting, try to watch film every day, try to be as prepared as you could possibly be for a really good Melbourne team. But again, Friday we're going to get them off. So we're going to 4 days there, 3.5 days, we're going to call it, and the next week will be back to normal. But it'll give us a head start going into Melbourne, and the game plan will be 100% in by the end of the week, and really probably by tomorrow. We'll have most of that stuff and talk through it, and who we got to shut down and who their dudes are, and we have every one of their game films. Our conference has done a pool. We throw all our games in a pool, so
right.
They have all yours, you have all theirs. So,
sure.
Seen them all. They play Perryville this week, so. It's to our advantage. We don't play this week, and they got an opponent they can't overlook. And I guarantee Coach Stu Smith, great coach, great history at Batesville, 35, 40 years of coaching. They know that too. I mean, Perryville's definitely a playoff contender in this conference, and so they'll have to kind of be looking at them while we're able to look at them. So that's our advantage. It just happened to work out this way. So again, we're gonna rest / get ready for Melbourne and try to find that balance this week.
Anything for Coach?
I don't. I've got to announce this though.
I'm not finished. I've got another question or two, but you go ahead.
Well, I'm not going to finish. I'm just going to announce it.
You go right ahead. You're the announcer. You go. You're the play-by-play guy.
I get the shit out of the show. I've already got kicked out of the vehicle. I got to find my own ride.
Oh. You can ride with me next time.
He can ride with me.
I'll ride with
me
you.
Me and Coach Brandon drag the equipment trailer down every weekend, so you can jump in.
Y'all don't want to listen to me.
No,
I'm sure you have some suggestions.
Yeah, I guarantee you. You don't need Coach Schultz in your car.
You don't want me.
Coach Schultz was
with Isaiah Moore.
No,
cry more. I know.
Yes, sir.
Look, no, it has nothing to do with that. I will come up with I'm a trick play.
Okay.
And I'll draw it out, and sometimes I even laugh how bad it is. And I'm like, but if we can get that guy to bite, and that's how I am.
But that's the fun. That's the fun of football. Everybody play football. I always tell people, you pay your $5 on Friday nights. You get to voice your opinion. You get to. It doesn't bother me. I enjoy getting to talk football with people, and they can give me whatever they want. But we're going to do what we think's best for the kids and whatnot. And every now and then, I don't want too many people to hear this. You might hear a suggestion.
That's pretty neat. Yeah, pretty cool.
So we do listen sometimes, but. Glad everybody's that concerned with the grounds. Honestly,
there you
go.
I
really am.
If you ever need a trick play, I've got about a book. That's
I let Coach Brandon call the offense, but I'm gonna forward your number to him
just in case.
Look, in the back of it, I've got stunts on it. I've got all kinds of stuff. But hit of the week:
Fathead Pizza.
Fathead Pizza. I'm hungry.
One word, all caps.
Really?
870-201-1313.
There you go. You got it, brother. You're good.
2 solid ones, 2 outside linebackers. Since we didn't have a game this Friday,
the Bash Brothers.
Josh told us, said, "Hey, there's 2 options there, and we couldn't really narrow it down." And I said, "Well," and Josh told me and said, "We don't have a game next week. Give 2."
That's correct.
And I said, "All right, well,
there you go.
You'll have to make the call. We're going to announce them." So the Bash Brothers is we're going to catch on with that. Dylan Braxton, and his actually came from the linebacker position. Set up a little screen there, and it was textbook. I mean, you saw it develop.
Cleaned him up.
It was a good one. Now, and Ben, and I thought Braxton's was probably a little bit better. Ben said the other outside linebacker who actually did it on kickoff, Tavares Davis. And I don't know if it was because I didn't get to see the full thing as it happened, but Ben was like, he stopped.
Yeah, he sure did in the broadcast.
Did y'all see that? Did y'all see that? But Tavares Davis, Dylan Braxton.
It was equal. It was every bit as hard as Dylan Braxton said it was.
Yes, sir.
It might have been. These two guys will be arguing over that tomorrow. But I don't know. It was big. It was big.
Good hits. Those both were good hits.
Both good hits.
You can give that.
They will love that. I'll get that too.
You can give them to one and then just see what the other one says.
There you go.
Coach, before you get out of here, I just got to ask you, a big championship caliber type game, your first year back at Newport, and I know it means a lot to you it means a lot for our program or their program to get a number 1 seed.
It's huge. It doesn't matter how good you are. You want the 1 seed because it puts you in a better situation at home. Not necessarily an easy road because when you get the playoffs, there is no easy road, but it would be an easier road than it would be coming out as a 2 seed. Because as a 2 seed, you're going to run into somebody else's 1 seed a whole lot sooner than you would as a 1 seed. So it just sets up well for whoever wins that. And there's games after that. They have to play Perryville than us, then I think they get Quitman, So we have them, and then we still have Perryville on down the road. Right. So it's not the end of it, but everybody knows, whoever wins this one's going to be at the advantage.
Sure.
We're going to be in the driver's seat, so everybody knows that. So the 1 seed's huge. Not the end of the world if you don't get it. It's just going to be a tougher road. When I've told the kids that, we're going to put everything in this and try to go out there and get it. And if we don't, or the season is not over, we will continue to fight through and try to get that 2 seed and roll through that bracket.
Yes, sir.
But I prefer the 1 seed bracket, and I prefer being at home. I like being at home.
Yes, sir.
We were on the road, on the road, and then we get home. If we win all those, it'll be home, maybe home. I don't know.
If you get the 1 out of this conference, you're home all 4.
Oh, wow. I didn't even know that. So you could ask the other coaches. I've been like this my whole career, even at Southside. Those guys would drive me crazy looking ahead. I don't do that. It's just 1 week at a time for me. 1 week at a time. So
playoff game with it Friday night. Every playoff. We won another playoff game.
We're gonna whoop by this week. I guarantee.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna tell you what. By has had a tough down through the years.
By's down right now. By's down. So
they don't ever win.
It'd be a great time for let me call plays.
Sure. Well, we're gonna let you call some Friday night. Be like, come on out to the office right here. And we'll do our own game. We'll let you call some plays.
Speaking of Friday, before I forget, my wife told me that Booster Club is doing a fundraiser golf tournament. Obviously, all the money goes back to the kids, and they've been doing a lot for the program this year. The Booster Club already raised a lot of money.
Sure.
And they've already distributed to all the programs. Are getting a fair share of it, and but they want to raise more. There's always more you can do for the kids. So 1 o'clock tee time, the Newport Country Club. You can sign up. I think you can get online and sign up, or you can show up and sign up. I think they're about full though. So if you run in, there may be 5 or 6 spots left. So.
Get lunch and dinner and that one.
Absolutely.
Lunch,
yeah,
dinner,
Subway and Fathead.
And you get to enjoy golfing on a beautiful fall afternoon, and
won't be hot.
No ball game Friday night, so you might as well find something else to do. So y'all come on out and check that out.
Grant Black.
There's my plug.
There you go. Michael Wilmans and Michael Reynolds have a little team. Be a couple of left-handed hitters there.
There you go.
They said they're coming to win.
One.
Oh, was Michael hit right-handed?
Mike's a righty.
He a golfer, really?
Those left-handed.
He was a good quarterback. I remember coaching against him.
He hits right-handed, Dave.
Good.
That's right. Yeah.
Right-handed.
That's
got to run a little bit. He's fast.
He was fast.
We played in a
good player.
We played in a 4-man scramble before, and those 3 got a shot.
Well, me and my brother and Coach Nathan McCarver were playing together, and we probably do not. But we will enjoy it. We will enjoy it, and that's all that matters. And the money that we put in will go towards the kids. So.
We're going to get out of here, let Coach get home early tonight, and enjoy his, quote, his off week, which is really not an off week when you're the head football coach of Newport Greyhounds. But, Coach, we appreciate you. Appreciate you taking time. Appreciate the kids coming. Boy, they had some great questions for us tonight.
They're loosening up, aren't they?
Yeah.
Every week gets better.
Yeah, I love that part.
They're raising the bar, so we'll see. I don't know who will bring next week. We'll see.
We actually did not do this.
Will we not do it next week? I don't know.
No, we'll do it next week. Okay. Absolutely. Yes, sir. We'll be here. We'll be here to talk Greyhound sports for sure, and then might throw in some Razorback football and St. Louis Cardinal baseball next week. I don't feel like talking about that this week.
There you go.
Hayden Schultz, Josh Nation, head football coach, athletic director of Newport Greyhound, Bryant Reardon, joining us each and every Monday night to talk about our program. And as always, go Hounds! Well, in the Two Chicks Florista Moore birthday report for this week, today's birthday on Monday the 10th, Donna Williams, Larry Davison, Joey Holiday, and Madison Daniels, all with birthdays on today. Tomorrow, Jerry Carson, Ty Dunn, and Nanette Cooper have birthdays. And then on Wednesday, Justin Doyle, Rachel Gons, Jerry Epperson, Michael Cooper has a birthday on Wednesday. On Thursday, the 13th, Joe Goss, Kyron Stafford, Glenda May, Michael Brumley, Lance Connor, and Danielle Lancaster, all with birthdays on Thursday the 13th. John Laster on Friday, and Alan Russell also on Friday. Amy Paulsgrove Foster on Friday. Ernest Wren and Regina Carson all on Friday the 14th. Saturday's birthdays include Braden Brzezinski. Natalie Hahn has a birthday on Saturday the 15th. John Robinson also with a birthday. Jeff Tapp and Colton Lowry also with birthdays on Saturday. On Sunday, Michelle Wood with a birthday, Shane Prince, Matt Morehart, Mary O'Banion, and Isabella Delcase, all with birthdays on Thursday. We have more coming right up, right here on Facebook Live Sports Unleashed. Down on the field with a bunch of Newport Greyhounds. Guys, hoop it up one time for the Hounds. Say, yeah! These are our Unity Health players of the game, and it's the whole group of Newport Greyhounds. One more thing, guys. One more thing. Get a great week of practice next week. And we're going on the road the next week to play some Greyhound football. There's the players of the game right there. We'll bring Coach Reardon in when he gets an opportunity. Coach, come this way with me. I think the kids really enjoyed being in there, and I did tell them the one thing is, go ahead. Let's go. I told them, I said, if we got off week next week, then we're going to Melbourne, and the Newport Greyhounds are coming to town. But let's talk about tonight. 52-6, Coach, and one of these games are hard to prepare for. Talk about that.
Absolutely, man. You know, as a coach, people might not believe this, but those are the hardest games. You know, you going into Melbourne in 2 weeks, I don't have to get them ready.
Right.
I mean, they know what's up. So a game like this, you got to keep them focused. You got to keep them serious during the week and understand it. And it's a much needed break next week. I mean, we walked in the, you know, I'm not going back in our non-conference. And then you walked right in probably the 2-3 seed, possibly
right.
3-4 seed. You know, coming in this week, the Atkins is struggling. I talked to Coach Porter. He's a great guy. They got to come now. The junior high's got 43 kids. I want to brag on them because a lot of schools with their kind of numbers have went down to 8-man football,
right.
and he said, I'm not doing that. I want to keep rolling and fight through the down cycle. And he said, it's coming. We're going to be back, and there'll be a playoff team in a couple of years with that junior high bunch. So hats off to him. And I told him I appreciate him not doing that because what you don't want in your conference is a bunch of gaps with people
right.
bowing out going 8-man football. So they're struggling a little bit. They played their butts off, and hats off to them too.
Coach, we had a lot of guys that played very, very well tonight. A lot of the young guys came in and play, and I mean, one in particular that I remember. I mean, Jack Sampson, just from his linebacker spot, he'll go in there and he'll hit you.
Absolutely, he's very well. He's very, very easily coached. He understands the concepts. When I give him a key to read it, he flies as well as anybody I've had. I mean, the future's fixing to be bright for that kid, man. And he's a hitter, like you said. He's very physical. It's good to have those smart, physical kind of kids out there on defense. So,
hey, I always appreciate you taking time to join us after the game. I know you don't have to do this, but you do it out of the goodness of your heart, you know. But we do it for these kids. I do it for these kids. You do it for these kids, and we have fun with it.
Absolutely. You know, we got everybody off the bench, handed the ball to a lot of different people, tried to have a little fun at the same time, not try to embarrass an opponent. And I thought we did a really good job of handling it like that, and had a good time. You know, and I don't mind talking, so I'll talk to you after the game anytime, man. you know, your talk show turns into an hour sometimes. You know.
Turn the lights off on us.
He's Coach Brian Reardon, the head football coach and athletic director of the Newport Greyhounds. And until next week, until next time, as always, go Hounds!
Osher, Matthew Riley, Nayland Carter, Tyler Ridley, and Lucas Salinas manning that offensive line along with Malik Robinson at the tight end position. Few numbers to play. As the quick hitch right here to Kendall, and he makes a guy miss, and he's going to the end zone. Touchdown, Isaiah Kendall.
Greyhounds covered some real estate there to get another Bratcher Real Estate touchdown, presented by Bratcher Real Estate at BratcherOneRealEstate.com. See Mary Reed, principal broker, Lauren Sampson, Carol Ann Young, and all the gang. Bratcher Real Estate.
Marshall rolling out, 2-point conversion to Crite is good. Hounds lead 8-0 here.
You know, if you get to taking lessons and you like it, we've got a few stalls left. They're going quick, so get with me, 870-512-8429.
Fakes the screen, and Kendall goes up, one-hand snag in the back of the end zone and picks it off. What a play right there by Isaiah Kendall. As Young outside on a little sweep play here. CJ trying to blow by everybody as he's going to be finally brought down over midfield into Red Devil territory near the 48-yard line. A big 28-yard run for CJ.
CJ the Machine Young. He's just like a well-oiled machine, Hayden, hitting on all cylinders there.
32-yard run. So here's the snap. Marshall looks to throw and is going to air it out, and he's got Kylan Crite open in the end zone. What a catch right there by Crite to come down with it, and that's 6 for the Hounds.
34 yards.
Hounds going for 2 here. Crite at the top, Kendall at the bottom.
2-point conversion try with CJ. He goes in untouched.
And with 4:05 remaining,
and the Hounds now leading 16-0 with 4:05 to go in the first. Rodriguez to tee it up here for the Hounds, and a pooch kick fielded inside the 30-yard line, and a great tackle down there. We'll try to see who that was. It looks like it was Pooty.
Okay, Nancy Jones, I'll give you a shout out from Fayetteville, Arkansas.
Bounces out. How about Kendall?
Just a great job of one-on-one tackling, just shedding his blockers and coming downhill and making a tackle.
Let the scoreboard do the talking. As the quarterback draw play, ball on the ground, it's going to be a scoop up.
Is that Tonio?
Yes, sir, it was Tonio Phillips, the sophomore.
Ooh, I thought he was going to go the distance there.
I say 59 out there, Matthew Riley getting after this guy. Boy, he doesn't miss very many blocks, does he?
No, he does not.
I like single coverage down here at the bottom with Kendall. As here's the snap, looking to throw, and that's where we're going to go with the football. Goes to Kendall, touchdown Greyhounds.
Big score there for the Hounds.
Marshall.
On the 2-point, they go to Young, and Young is going to go in yet again untouched. And the 2-point conversion good. Hounds lead 24-0 here at Atkins. I agree with
either.
that. Dive play, trying to bounce outside. It looks like Braxton, first one to wrap him up, and Spearman.
Braxton, Spearman, also Elston in on the tackle. Noah Curtis also in there on the tackle.
John G. Pennington, 64 in your program, number 1 in your heart, always supporting the Greyhounds.
Dive play, and we'll see where they mark him as the ball did come out, but it was after the fact. Looks like quarterback power here. And that's what they do, and he didn't get it, folks.
That's a big hit, too.
That's
Yes,
a
sir.
Fathead Pizza collision of the week. Looks like maybe Tyler Ridley.
75 came from the
Is
bottom
that
of
Abel? Yep, that's Big Abel.
Well, put him in the clubhouse, guys.
it. Josh letting us know that 1-5 B.J. Elston was in on that as well.
Former Newport Greyhound.
On 2nd and 10, the give is to Young. As Young breaks free, and he's getting outside, and it's a foot race to the 30, 20, 10. Kiss him goodbye. Touchdown, C.J. Young.
He just finds a way, guys, to get to the end zone. The Hounds covered some real estate there.
As here's the snap, and how about Davis on the 2-point conversion?
Tavares Davis
2-point conversion.
in there for the 2-point for the Hounds,
And with
making it
9:09
32
remaining
to
here
nothing.
in the first half, it's now the
With 9:09 to go here in the first half.
32.
As Rodriguez kicking it deep, and ball is fumbled at the 26-yard line.
Tavares Davis with a big lick coming down. You got to put him in the clubhouse on that one. It wasn't a tackle. But that takes the cake right there. He's in the lead right now, guys.
As here's the snap, and that's what they draw up. I think that one takes it out of the clubhouse. How about Braxton?
I'm going to have to say that one there. Maybe.
Woo!
I don't know, guys. That's pretty close, but that was a lick there
Woo!
for sure.
Can we give it 2?
Kara Moorhart, Donna Moorhart watching from Northwest Arkansas.
On a jet sweep here to Kylan Kright, and a great block there by Spearman. Is Kright's just going to coast in the end zone, and a touchdown for the Hounds.
Built over the years.
Here's the snap. Quarterback was looking for a screen. It's come up incomplete. How about that Jack Sampson?
It's a big hit by Jack.
Pressure on the quarterback.
I love his style of play. He's solid. He's strong. He goes after the football.
He's gritty.
He just looks like a tough linebacker, doesn't he?
He's just gritty.
You know, when you're
Looks like Rowland, along with Spearman and Ross, going to man that front here for the Hounds on 2nd and 10. As here's the snap and the dive play. Not a whole lot there. Pollard and Braxton in the backfield for the Hounds. Give us to Pollard. Pollard. Big Jalen Pollard with a Greenway Equipment Company first down, as he's going to be wrapped up near midfield to roll. As fake to Pollard, and Braxton calls his own number as Braxton sticks his head down, and another Greenway Equipment Company first down near the 36-yard line, as Phillips checks into the tailback position now.
Excuse me, on the Atkins, 36.
Antonio Phillips. There's a guy running tough. As looks like Norris in the game along with Denton at the outside receivers. Looks like Godare at a nub back here, maybe a tight end.
Ethan's a heck of an athlete.
On 3rd down here, here's the snap, and the give is to Antonio Phillips. Those big boys out in front. Antonio's going to walk in the end zone. It all started with Carter and Ridley's big block outside to get on the board.
Well, the offensive line, unsung heroes always of the offense. Just those big guys up front putting in all the work and creating space for these guys in the backfield to go do what Tonio Phillips just did there, and that's take it to the house, Hayden.
We'll wait for the extra point here. Keedy to snap, Dool to hold, Rodriguez the kick, and it is good.
Rodriguez's extra point is good.
Looks like Big Ty Nicholson checking in. So we'll try to name all these guys.
As the wind blows.
Looks like Khalil Johnson in there. There's Denton in at the quarterback. Here's a snap, and Denton calls his own number here. There's Denton with a Greenway Equipment Company first down over midfield. Looks like Salinas at the center.
Ethan Norris at the top, Perez at the bottom.
Here's the snap, and the give is to Pollard. As Pollard lowers his shoulders, he's brought down near the 37-yard line. Ethan Norris out there, along with Sampson. It's Jack Sampson. Looks like Perez out there, and Ross.
Perez at the top, Norris at the bottom of your screen.
Big Zylan Ross, and here's the snap, and the give is to Pollard. As Pollard shoots out of there like a cannon. He dives into the end zone. Touchdown, Jalen Pollard. How about
I want to say something for a minute about Jack Sampson. He was blocking his guy, and he had his guy hooked, and he just kept blocking him and driving him and driving him. He drove him 15 yards and never gave up, and it was the block that sprung the play.
The Sampson boys and the Keedy boys.
Yes, sir.
I went over there and did a game for them one day.
Galleria Super Bowl.
The Galleria Super Bowl, sure did.
snap, hold, kick is up and good. Andre Rodriguez. That's Keedy to Duel to Rodriguez, and the Hounds lead here 52-0. First Community Bank kickoff fielded around the 32, and there's a lick right there as we'll try to see who got that tackle. Looks like Denton. DeKayas Lauderdale out there. Sampson and Ozier in at the linebacker position, it looks like. So here's the snap and the dive play. It's Ross almost coming away with a tackle, but how about Big Perez on the tackle?
Perez, also Jacob Ozier.
And a good move there as Noah Curtis is going to bring him down inside the 40 to the 38-yard line. As here's the snap and the dive play, trying to bounce outside, and a great tackle.
Jack Sampson.
Sampson on the tackle.
What a great read by Jack. I was watching him then. He just stayed. He was patient. He came from the backside. He filled the hole, filled the gap, made the tackle. That's just textbook linebacker play. In the Newport Walmart Super Center coaches report at the conclusion.
On second down, how about Sampson again in the backfield, and that's Antonio Ross on the tackle as well. On fourth down, quarterback rolling out. Looks to throw, got a man open in the flats, and a great open field tackle by Antonio Phillips. Sam Dole out here at a corner checking into the ball game.
Sam the man Dole.
Sam may get a pick right here and take it 100.
I would want nothing more, David.
Me either. For that young man and what he gives to this program, his family.
Big win here tonight for the Hounds. Hounds win at 52-6 over Atkins.
Take this opportunity to thank all of our sponsors on Cable 15 TV, Facebook Live, Sports Unleashed. And that list is long, and we certainly appreciate all of them, or we wouldn't be able to put these programs together. Included in that list is C&M Ag Depot at 2900 Highway 367 North. Farm supplies, hardware, clothing store, power tools, you name it. Before you shop out of town, come see us at C&M Ag Depot. Dias Scrap Metal, buying cars, iron, copper, cans, brass, steel, stainless, electric motors. They buy everything and they pay in real money. Give them a call at 523-3858 for more information. Fletcher Land Surveying. Before you build that fence, make sure you have accurate boundaries. If you don't, you might mess up and have to tear it down. Give Kenny a call at 523-5625. Other sponsors include Fathead Pizza. That's one word and it's all caps. And it's the Hembry Brothers, Joey and Marcus. Great pizza, fresh, hot sandwiches, and the salad supreme that's second to none. You can call your order in at 870-201-1313. They'll have it ready to go. It'll be piping hot when you pick it up. Delta Trader, been involved for 50-plus years right here in Newport, Arkansas. Dale Lee started this business many years ago in his backyard. And just built one trailer, and then one trailer went to two trailers, and then the third trailer, and then pretty soon it's a multi-trailer business, sending trailers all across the United States and Canada. These guys do it right, and let me tell you, there's no better family in Jackson County than the Eves family. And then also Temp Pro. If you need that air conditioner check, Sam and John Laster are the guys. Give them a call at 501-827-3213. And the White River Health System has the care you need when you need it in Newport and Batesville. In Newport, Dr. Randall Hunt, Dr. Nicole Walson, and APRN Marlo Hargrave for your primary care needs at the Newport Diagnostic Medical Clinic. You can give them a call at 512-2500 for an appointment. Until next time, everybody, this is David Black for Cable 15 TV and Sports Unleashed. Thank you. See you next week.